Hello and welcome. I'm going to look at the 2023 Computer Science Section C Ordinary Level Coding paper. You will receive the code, this part of the code, already produced in the exam on a file. It's very important to read your questions. You have to save it using your exam number. Enter your exam number provided in line 2 of the Python file and save it. The program below produces a times table for a specific number. A times table is a multiplication table in a list that shows the multiples of a specific number. The code below works by using a for loop to multiply the number 7 by 0, then by 1, then by 2, until the loop repeats 10 times in total. And I have that code here. Part 1. Make the following changes to the program. Currently, the first line is printed by the program multiplication program. Change the program so the first line printed is times table program. So instead of multiplication, it becomes times table. So instead of multiplication, it becomes times table. And I'm going to tell the examiner that I've answered part 1 in a comment there, just to make it easy for them to correct. That's part 1. Part 2. Update the program so there's a row of asterisks appear above and below the line which outputs times table program. When it runs, it may look like this. So print a row of asterisks, and we are answering part 2, and I need to do that above and below. I run it and I see here that it's working. I can put in a few more asterisks. Make sure I'm happy with it and press run. Perfect. Part 3. Amend the program to ask and accept the user's choice of number to be used as the multiplier. Store the entered number in a variable called number. When the program is run and the user enters 8, the output may now look as follows. So you asked them to enter the number. So number is currently equal to 7. We're going to change that. Number equals int input. Please enter a number. And I'm going to tell the examiner this is answer to part 3. Just in a comment beside that. Part 3. Please enter a number. And I need to put in a print statement. Number. Make sure you don't forget to put your comma in here and press run. Please enter a number. I'm going to put in, for example, number 8, and then it multiplies the number out for me. The same as it is here. Part 4. Currently, the user can enter a negative number. Negative numbers should not be allowed in this program. Amend the program so the times tables is not printed out and allow an appropriate error message to be displayed if the user enters a negative number. When the program is run, a -2 as the number's output may now look as follows. The program does not support negative numbers. So negative numbers are numbers that are less than 0. So you want to tell if this number is less than 0, you want to tell the user it's not supported. If number is less than 0, print negative numbers not supported. else you want to do all of this. We just need to move it your indentation level. So just highlight it and press the tab key to do that. Now when I run it, enter a number. If I put in -2, negative numbers are not supported. I run it again and I put in 5, it works. So always good to check both ways. Times tables normally show the result of multiplying a specific number by 0 to 12 inclusive. Amend the program so it displays the result of multiplying the entered number by 0 to 12 inclusive. When the program is run, the user enters 8, the output may look as follows. So it goes the whole way down, instead of stopping at 80, it goes the whole way down to 88 and 96, which is 8 multiplied by 11, 8 multiplied by 12, to give these numbers here. So all we need to do is in Tani, instead of being in the range up as far as 10, we change that number there to 12 and press run. If we enter in the number 8, it goes to 88. So I actually need to go one more. I need to go to the range 13 because it's exclusive of 13. So it's one less than it. And if I put in 8, it gives me up to 96. So that's how we get that. Part 6. Update the program so that it displays the results in the format 3 by 8 equals 24 as shown below. When the program is run and the user enters number 8, the output may now look as follows. So at the moment you have multiplications of and the number. You want to be 0 multiplied by the number equals the number. So at the moment we have number multiplied by I. So for I in the range 13, number multiplied by I. You want to print out I multiplied by the number equals the number star I. So let's run it. Enter a number. If we enter 8, there we go. So this is your print statement. I multiplied by just your X on your keyboard, the number equals the result that was already coded. That is part A. Part B of this paper was giving you a blank file and you have to save the file as your exam number. And basically each bullet point here is telling you what to do. So reading the question is very important. Implement a program for a temperature alert system for a baby's room. You should use comments in your program to explain your code. You may wish to reuse some of your code in part A as part of your solution. Your program should do the following. Display a message which outputs welcome to temperature alert system. So we want to make sure we put in this exact message into our blank program. Now you would be putting in your exam number in here. There would be space for it. And you would also be putting in your question 16B in there. So we want to put a print message. So this is the answer to part 1. Answer to part 1, say. Point number 1 or part 1. And it is displaying a message, which we all know is a print statement. And as it says in the question, we want to type in welcome to the temperature alert system. So we just type that in and we press run. And it says welcome to temperature alert system. So that's your point number 1. Point number 2, ask the user to enter temperature value in degrees Celsius. An example is shown below. Please enter. So you're going to ask them to enter in a value here in degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put in here a variable for temp. Temp equals an int input, an int for integer, int input, enter temperature value in degrees Celsius. We type that out and make sure you close your brackets, and I run it. Enter it in degrees Celsius. I put in 20 and it's working. Use a conditional statement to output different pieces of information based on the temperature value that has been input by the user. If the temperature is less than 20, too cold, turn up the heating. If it's between 20 and 24, temperature is just right. Otherwise, it's too warm, turn down the heating. So in Tani, if temp is, and I'll start with the first one, less than 20. If temp is less than 20, you're going to print too cold, turn up heating. You type that out, too cold, turn up heating. Elif, temperature is between, we want it to be, we can do this two ways. We can go put in the parameters between them, or we can say if it's more than 24, we want to say too warm, turn down the heating. And then we can come back to the one in the middle. So if temperature is greater than 24, print too warm, turn down the heating. And well, if it's not greater than, if not less than 20 and it's not greater than 24, it must be between those two. So else you can print temperature is just right. Now you can do them in any order you want. Temperature is just right. You just make sure you put in your string marks. And when we run that, enter temperature value in degrees Celsius. So if I put in 23, temperature is just right. Run it again. If I put in 19, it's too cold. If I run it again and I put in 30, it's too warm. So there we have it. And that is all of the ordinary level coding paper.